Hey guys, we're here today doing a Tailwind team. I haven't done one of those in a while, so we're going to do Tailwind, this time with Bandit Arcanine. This is another rental team, so I don't have a team builder, but I did at least find a Pokepaste for this one, so I'm going to link that down below. I just don't really understand a lot of the spreads, but it's a really cool team, actually. I have a lot of respect for the person who built this, because it's honestly, like, really impressive, just a lot of the specific instances and moves, which I'll go over that a bit more when we get into the actual battles. But there's a lot of really niche stuff on here that you wouldn't typically think of, but I still think is actually pretty viable. So of course, link down below. Answer the comment question of the day, I guess. What's your favorite random support move? Specifically, these would be like stuff that isn't covered. Well, actually, really just what's your favorite random support move? This team features Quick Guard, which is why I bring that up. It's Quick Guard Talonflame, which is pretty cool, which I thought that was really interesting. That's probably one of my favorite, like, niche support options. But let me know yours down below. Actually, you know what? My favorite one's definitely Map Block, but too bad that one is no longer in the game. Anyway, we're taking on just a balanced team. Kingambit, Chien-Pao, Arcanine, Fluttermane, Amoonguss, and Ting-Lu. As far as my lead goes, I think I'm definitely just going to lead off with probably Talonflame, Great Tusk, and then I'm going to bring Chien-Pao, Arcanine in the back. I could also bring I could definitely also still bring the Dragonite in the back. I think it's a pretty decent Terra option here. However, I also like the Terra Arcanine a lot, and I think the Arcanine as well just will probably end up hitting harder. So I would rather just go for the Arcanine, truthfully, though Dragonite could still have merit here. Really, I think all 6 actually do, which is pretty cool about this team. Like, I think the worst matchup here, unironically, was for Fluttermane, just because it's, like, triple dark. But Fluttermane even still has a decent matchup. My opponent's going to lead with Chien-Pao and Arcanine. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind Chien-Pao, Arcanine. We're scarfed on Great Tusk anyway, so I should still get off a really strong Rock Slide. Or actually, no, wait. I can't just go for Earthquake. What am I saying? My opponent has no actual switch into that. And on top of that as well, I'm next to a Flying type. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go for Earthquake here. And then I think I'm going to go for Feint as well. I should outpace the Chien-Pao anyway with both my mons. So I'm not really too concerned here. They're going to go for Protect. Okay, well, perfect. I'll break Protect with this. That's fucking great. That means I don't even need to actually risk anything regarding my Great Tusk taking damage here. Truthfully, I could have also went for the Terra on Great Tusk, but I do still think that's better saved for Arcanine in this case. So I would rather just go for the Great Tusk. Not the Great Tusk, the Terra on Arcanine. Alright, my opponent is going to burn my Great Tusk. That's fine. It's a little unfortunate, but it's not really a huge deal. Thankfully as well, my opponent went for Protect, so they don't actually even have knowledge that I do have the Choice Scarf here, which is pretty good. I'll go for another Earthquake, and I'm going to go for a Tailwind this time. Tailwind, of course, just to make sure that, one, I'm avoiding Sucker Punch, though I don't think my opponent will go for Sucker Punch anyway into Talon. But more importantly, too, just to make sure that I have it up, because I will need that for Arcanine if I decide not to go for E-Speed. I might still go for the Terra even if I don't go for E-Speed, because it is still really good to get rid of my weakness to ground from stuff like Ting-Lu. But at the same time, though, I don't know if I'll really need it. I might just be clicking Close Combat this game, to be honest. Regardless, though, we're going to be doing a fair bit of damage here. Great Tusk will probably end up having to... yeah, I'll probably switch out here. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. So I'm definitely going to go for a Brave Bird into the Chien-Pao spot. And then I think I might just... I'm going to switch out into Arcanine here. Because I don't... Actually, no. I'm gonna just let Great Tusk go down. I'll go for an Earthquake here. And I'm going to go for a Brave Bird into Chien-Pao. If I lose both my mons, I don't really care. Fuck. Okay. Unfortunate. I could have gotten a free Feint turn, but it is what it is. My opponent probably is just going to go for Rock Slide. I can't imagine that they wouldn't. Ting-Lu should at least take some okay damage from this, but I can proceed to just go for a Brave Bird on the following turn since I do outpace Chien-Pao anyway. And then meanwhile, I can go for a Close Combat into Ting-Lu, and that should be good. If my opponent does kill my Talonflame here with Rock Slide, oh no, they're going to go for Ruination. Okay, perfect. We'll take that. Yeah, so I can just bring an Arcanine and then just go for Brave Bird. And Brave Bird should outpace Chien-Pao even if they do go for Sucker Punch. So I'm pretty sure I will just take that out. So that works out pretty well for me. I'll have my Chien-Pao as well. I could actually just bring a Chien-Pao. My Chien-Pao would have a pretty decent time. Yeah, I don't really have a reason not to be honest, because I can just go for Ice Spinner into Ting-Lu. And even if they go into Arcanine, I don't really care about that either. And if anything, it might be for the best that they go into Arcanine, because it's just another free kill. Yeah, we'll go for Ice Spinner here. And then I'm going to go for the Brave Bird into the Chien-Pao this turn. And that should be good. My opponent is going to Terra. That should be fine. If anything, this just opens up more for the Arcanine to just be clicking E-Speed if they're going for like a Terra Water or something. So I'll take that. Yep, they are Terra Water Tinglu. It's perfectly fine. Okay. So, not really too concerned here. Realistically, again, the Sacred Sword probably would have been the smarter play in hindsight, but it's not really a huge deal either way, because I'll still get some okay damage off, and really the Tinglu is the least of my problems this matchup, I would argue. We're gonna see Arcanine probably come in next just to intimidate my Chien-Pao, which is fine, I don't mind that. They're gonna go for Body Press, okay, that's fine. I'm Focus Sash anyway. I might just go for the Terra on Chien-Pao. Actually, no, what I can do, I can just go for, I'm pretty sure Quick Guard +3 priority. Let me see. Because I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. So it is +3 priority. Yeah, honestly, I might just go for the E-Speed, assuming that my opponent probably just tries to target Talonflame this turn. Okay. So that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Quick Guard, and I'm gonna go for a Sacred Sword here. And that should pick off the Arcanine. I know it's a little bit of a convoluted way to do it, but my logic here is that I think that my opponent will go for E-Speed plus... yeah, this should also... I think they might go for like a Ruination as well into Talonflame. So with that in mind, I want to try and just keep Chien-Pao alive if possible. Perfect. Yep, they go for the E-Speed. It's blocked entirely. Okay, and then I can go for Sacred Sword, and that should pick off Arcanine here, which works out really well for me because now I'll have my Chien-Pao and Arcanine potentially in the pack, which is good. If they went for Rock Slide, well played. Nope, they do go for Ruination, and it is going to be into the Talonflame. Perfect. Okay, so I called that turn perfectly. That works out really well. I'm curious about what their last mon is, because they've lost their Arcanine, and they've lost their Chien-Pao. I'm assuming that their last mon probably is Flutter Mane, which I'm okay with that as well, to be honest. I could probably just go for like a Protect. Yep, okay, so that is Flutter Mane. Yeah, I could probably just go for like a Protect on Chien-Pao, and then proceed to go for a Tailwind here. If they target my Talonflame, so be it. It's a good play, actually, if they target Talonflame and then just go for like a Body Press or some shit. But I am going to hope that they maybe go for like a Protect this turn or something. Either way, though, I think that objectively I do need to get Tailwind up, because that will help out. Oh, perfect. Okay, so that's good to note, actually. Their Flutter Mane is slower than my Talonflame. And this Talonflame is not max speed, so that's definitely like a modest Flutter Mane for sure. Either that or it's really slow timid. But this Talonflame, I think it's like 148 speed or something. Yeah, 148 speed jolly. So that is a slow Flutter Mane, keep in mind. Okay. So I'm just going to go for the Wild Judge here, and I'm going to go for Terra Normal on Arcanine just to get rid of my weakness to Tinglu. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be like a bulky Sash set. I can't imagine it would be. Chien-Pao versus Flutter Mane. Let's see. So, it looks like that my best play here definitely would be to click... Let's see. So I'm going to click Ice Spinner. It would do the most damage to Flutter Mane. And then I'm going to click Terra Normal and then go for the Wild Charge here in Tinglu. Actually, I'll go for it in a Flutter Mane just to minimize the damage I'm taking with Arcanine. Because then I can only take it from one source, which will be better than taking it from two. So I'll take that. I assume that they're probably going to go for like a Tantrum anyway into my Arcanine, or maybe Heavy Slam to Chien-Pao. Either way, I think is still the better option for sure. Because I do want to kill the Flutter Mane, assuming that they clicked like a... Well, they clicked Shadow Ball here, I guess it doesn't matter. But if they click like a Gleam, I just want that mon gone. So Chien-Pao should get off some strong damage. Yeah, that's around 50. That is definitely like a really defensive Flutter Mane for sure. How defensive is that? I know that we're -1, but even still, that has to be like some really fucking defensive Flutter Mane. It has to be at least more than max HP. Heavy Slam? Okay, perfect. So I'm pretty sure that Terra Water Tinglu would end up dying to my Arcanine here. Let's see. So Terra Normal, and then their Terra Water. Yeah, we should do like half. And I should take even like a Body Press from this should be comfortably chewed. So I'm pretty okay with that, actually. They're going to go for Protect. Doesn't really matter if they're going for Protect. They don't actually change anything doing that. And then, yeah. So we're also, not only are we Banded Arcanine, though, we're a lot bulkier than this Calc spread goes. Now, obviously, they could be a lot more Fizz Def than their spread goes. But even still, so they peak at 128 damage. I shouldn't take enough from Recoil to where that should actually end up mattering. There are leftovers as well, which is important to note, actually. Oh my god, okay, that's 3 KO. Ooh, so that is definitely very Fizz Def. That might matter, actually. I would need like a really good roll here at this point. Shit, okay. Good play by my opponent. Good play by my opponent for sure. I could crit. But with how low damage I did, because like that had to have been a low roll on like among low rolls for that, because they were still in the. It probably took about like 45, and the rolls for max Fizz Def are skewing like 43 to 52. Obviously, they don't have to be like max Fizz Def necessarily. They can have some HP interspliced into that. But yeah, I think I literally need to crit them to actually kill, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I hope they go for like a double protect here, and think that maybe they end up getting screwed over by the damage, which would be amazing for me. Truthfully, that might be like a best case scenario. But I am gonna kind of hope that they are going for that, when in reality they should take the hit barring a crit, and then they go for a body press this turn. But we'll have to see. Maybe my opponent just chokes. Maybe I'm misreading the calcs. We're gonna go for wild charge. Can we get a crit? We did not get a crit. Okay, yeah, unfortunate. They just chew that hit pretty comfortably, and then body press should take me out. Well played by my opponent. Not really much that we could have done about that, to be honest. They just played really well. I think it was a really well played game on both ends, and sometimes you just lose those. So it is what it is. Nothing really there. They just, in the end, won the match. Sometimes it just happens. But the team is still really strong. We'll see you guys in game number 2, though. Peace out, guys. Moving on to team number 2, we're taking on a team consisting of Tyranitar, Mousehold, Nihilip, Lycanroc, Amoonguss, and Gyarados. Okay, so endgame Arcanine is actually really fucking good here. I'm probably not gonna be a Terramon necessarily, but it is still really good here. I think that my lead is definitely gonna be Talonflame plus Great Tusk should be really strong. I could probably just go for like a Earthquake immediately on lead and then be fine. And Great Tusk could probably just start massacring. This might be my Terramon, to be honest. If they go for Mouse Ape, I'm probably just gonna go for Headlong Rush in Terra Ground and just try and nuke it really quickly. I'm gonna definitely bring Arcanine in the back. I think Arcanine for Intimidate is really strong here. And then I think that my final Mon, I'm not huge on Dragonite yet again. I think this isn't a great Dragonite matchup. It's okay for Amoonguss, but I have a lot of checks for it. This might be another Chien-Pao game, or it could be Fluttermane as well. Their Fluttermane checks are not great long term. I think I can definitely muscle past this. Also, I'm just realizing now that this poker pace is definitely inaccurate from the rental, so we're not gonna have a pace sadly to go off of. But anyway, that's not a huge deal. Yeah, I'm gonna bring Amoonguss. I'm gonna bring Fluttermane, because while they do obviously have Amoonguss in the back, which is a little scary, they're probably Terrifier Ape. At the same time, though, for one, really Amoonguss is the only actual like legitimate fairy check in this team, because everything else that could be a fairy check is all Terra based stuff, like probably Terra Steel Gyarados, for example, as well. The Annihilate is most likely Terrifier. That's really it, actually. Nothing else really actually matters. Tyranitar, Lycanroc. Okay, that's pretty expected lead here. We're gonna proceed to go for yeah, we're just gonna proceed to go for an Earthquake this turn. Terra Ground for sure, because I don't really need to Terra. Yeah, I don't need to Terra either Mon here. Neither of these benefit from Terra in this game. I guess kind of Fluttermane, but not really. So yeah, we'll go for Tailwind this turn. If they go for an Accelerock, I don't really care. Like, if they're really burning a turn for Accelerock, that's a fine trade for me. So we'll go for Tailwind here, and we'll go for the Earthquake. My opponent would essentially need to call the fact that I'm going for this turn immediately and go for Endeavor, just straight into Great Tusk. Which would imply as well that they know I'm Scarfed, because it's the only reason you make that play, as their Lycanroc would otherwise outspeed my Great Tusk. So they would need to know that I am not only Scarf for Great Tusk, but also that I'm going for Tailwind here. Which, the Tailwind play isn't that hard to predict. I feel like that's a pretty realistic one. It's more the fact that they would need to assume that I am also Scarfed. That is the issue there. Okay, they are Terra Flying on Tyranitar. That's fine. It's not really a huge deal, actually, that they know that they went for the Terra Flying. Because I still do think, objectively speaking, this was always my best play. They're probably going to kill my Talonflame here, which I'm okay with that. I don't really mind. Because in return, their Lycanroc dies next turn. And that's the scariest part of this core, is the fact that it's a free Endeavormon for them. So I'm more than okay with that. They're probably just going to go for 2 Rock Slides, to be completely honest. Maybe like a Terra Blast on Tyranitar, which I'm fine with that as well. Rock Slide, yep, okay, that's fine. My Talonflame does drop from that, perfect. That works out really well for me, because I can bring in a free Banded Arcanine and just go for Wild Charge into Tyranitar. And that's really good damage for me. I could also bring in No, I didn't bring Chien-Pao. Yeah, that's probably my play. They're going for Terra Blast, so be it. I don't really care. Actually, what I'll probably need to do instead is I'll probably need to go into... I'll probably actually need to go into Fluttermane here, because I need to then switch out into Arcanine. At the very least, my Fluttermane does outpace, so I'm not really too concerned. Let me just make sure this actually hits 178. This should hit above 178. This doesn't. Are you fucking kidding? Well, I'm gonna go for Gleam. And I'm gonna go for... No. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a... I'm gonna go for a Gleam here. And I'm gonna go into the Arcanine. I don't think they're gonna go for Endeavor, for what it's worth. And on top of that as well, they would have to go for it into Arcanine, so I'm not really too concerned with this. Rock Slide won't kill either Mon, especially with the -1. I'm not really too concerned with that either. I don't think a Tyranitar is going to go for a Rock Slide anyway, so that should work out well. I've given them no reason to expect that. And their Lycan Rock is not max speed anyway, so I got kind of bailed. They're probably adamant max speed, truthfully, which is fine. A little bit risky for sure. A little bit unnecessarily risky, but I'll take it. Arcanine straight killed by that. That's even better. Again, only good things I'm seeing right now. And now I've gotten our Great Tusk, which is great because the Great Tusk can be a really strong cleaner in this matchup. And I can just start spamming Headlong. I do still feel confident in the Earthquake play turn 1. I feel like that kind of had to happen. Between the fact that they have Terraflying T-Tar and they probably also have Gyarados in the back, I can't really go for any other play. They're going to bring in Gyarados. Okay, that's fine. Not too concerned with Gyarados. I think that my play is always to go for another Gleam this turn. And then go for a Wild Charge into the Tyranitar. Because Tyranitar can affect 2 Pokemon at once with Rock Slide. And it's definitely Assault Vest. Gyarados can only affect 1 at a time viably. Unless it's clicking Earthquake, which again, I use the word viably here. They're going to withdraw Tyranitar? Okay, that's fine. What do they bring in? Amoonguss. Fuck. Okay. Kind of wishing I targeted Gyarados, but it's not a huge deal. Oh, they went for Protect anyway. Okay. So this doesn't actually really matter. Because neither of my Pokemon technically touch that Amoonguss. But they don't know that. I will kill the Gyarados at least. And even if they do switch out Gyarados, I'm still fine with that actually. Because the Tyranitar will die. And either way, that's good for the Great Tusk. And then I can proceed to go for Headlong Rushes once the Arcanine dies. So that also works out well for me. Okay. I could have probably went for Flare Blitz in hindsight. And just killed the Amoonguss. But I'm still not too concerned with that. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine still. We'll go for another Gleam here, and I'm going to go for a Wild Charge into Gyarados. They've already protected it, so they have to either switch out and sack Tyranitar or just sack this. And either one of those works out well for me. They could go for Rage Powder as well, I guess, which I'm fine with Rage Powder, truthfully, because it'll kill off Arcanine quicker, and I can just start going for Rock Slide spamming. And it's not a Spore turn, which works out also really well for me. Fluttermane should take this hit pretty comfortably. I'm pretty sure this is still a really Fizdef spread, if I remember correctly. Gleam will go off. That means they're probably clicking Spore this turn, which is fine. That means Gyarados as well will just drop to this hit. This is their Intimidate Mon, which means at the very least I could just start spamming Rock Slide with Great Tusk, or even just Headlong, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure I could just kill... Well, maybe not. I think I might actually need to go for Rock Slide, which is whatever. They're gonna go for Spore, so be it. I don't mind. Yeah, what I'll probably do is I'm probably just going to Wild Charge the Tyranitar, and then just switch out Fluttermane into Great Tusk. Because I'm assuming that Amoonguss is probably... So, Amoonguss' Helmet, which is actually really helpful here. Yeah, Amoonguss being helpful. Helmet actually is so good here. Okay. So, do I actually switch out? I feel like I do. I feel like I don't. I feel like I don't make Great Tusk take damage unnecessarily. I'll go for a Wild Charge into Tyranitar. Because either I kill Tyranitar or I don't. They're not going for Rage Powder, which is great. So yeah, so Tyranitar's also just going to drop here, which is huge. Thankfully, this Choice Band... Oh, shit, that didn't drop. Alright, well, we've gotten a lot of damage off. This is clearly a very defensive Tyranitar, so we can just go for Rock Slide and just kill it that way. Amoonguss is still taking damage from the sand at the very least, which is huge. We'll lose Fluttermane, but I'm not too concerned with that, because truthfully, Amoonguss probably can't beat me even with the Spores. Because... Oh, shit, we're not even going to lose this to sand, which is huge. Yeah, we're just going to go for Rock Slide here. Rock Slide should be enough to pick off Tyranitar for certain. Meanwhile, the Amoonguss isn't going to get Helmet Chip on me, which is good. We'll get Gleam off. We'll go for Rock Slide. They now have to deal with 2 Pokemon as well, which is good. If Fluttermane wakes up this turn, that's even better, but I don't anticipate it will. Just because it's such an immediate wake up for us. But at the very least, it is still good damage to get off nonetheless. Rage Powder, not really going to matter because I'm clicking 2 spread moves. So the Amoonguss just wasted a turn where it could have spored and maybe banked off of that. Oh, thank God Amoonguss dodged. Okay, I was going to say, if Tyranitar dodged, we might have actually been in a pickle. Because they could have potentially went for like a Terra Blast, and that could have gotten off like actual damage. Albeit, we saw earlier on it wasn't a lot, but it was damage enough to actually have to consider that a threat. Flutter Mane's still asleep, that's fine. We now have single target rock slides to get off, as well as the fact that Flutter Mane, I believe, is only asleep for one more turn max. So they either have to kill the Flutter Mane so it doesn't wake up and let me get off a second turn of rock sliding, or they need to spore the Great Tusk and then I go for Gleam next turn. So either way, this works out well for me. Even like a worst case, they go for like a Leaf Storm. I'm pretty sure that Flutter Mane now kills with Gleam. Okay, so they are going to seek the Flutter Mane kill, that's fine. Because they don't kill Great Tusk with Palm Pup, that's for sure. So I'm pretty set here to just go for another Rock Slide, and I think that should be enough to win the game. So this Rock Slide should go off, and that should be good here. Oh my god, we're missing another Rock Slide. Holy shit. This is like literally the one way that I could lose that game. Come on, you're fucking with me. If I get like a 3-turn sleep here, I swear to god, I better not get like a 3-turn sleep here. Because literally, this is the only way I actually lose that game. And it's not like, I feel like this game I definitely played pretty dominantly. It's not like I feel like there was, well, there definitely wasn't like any huge misplay or anything. Yeah, so I literally need like a full 3-turn sleep here. Come on, Tusk, I need you to just wake up. Thank god. Okay, Rock Slide, I need you to connect. Beautiful. Okay, thank god. Was really worried we were going to lose that to 3-turn sleep there. I can't lie. And it would have sucked to lose 2 games today in a row. Especially when, like the first game was a fair one, as I said. My opponent just played really well. And sometimes you just sleep to lose. But I would have really hated to go 0-2 because my second game came down to 3-turn sleep. That would have sucked ass. But we'll take it. We'll take it. On to game number 3, though. We'll see you guys then. Peace out, guys. Moving on to game number the 3rd. We're taking on a team consisting of Flutter Mane, Goldengo, Arcanine Chien-Pao, Palafin, and Amoonguss. So this is definitely a Terra Dragonite game, objectively speaking. Dragonite's actually such a fucking gross mon here. The question is, when do I Terra it? Because I don't actually know the answer to that. Dragonite's definitely like a good late game option. I think with Arcanine, actually, I could put up a lot of work. I think definitely my lead is still honestly just the Great Tusk and the Talonflame. I could probably even just go for, oh, I almost tried to select 2 mons. That wouldn't have worked. I think these are my 4. That's not to say that any of my mons are bad here. Well, actually, okay, Chien-Pao's not great here. But Flutter Mane's actually still pretty good here as well, and I can get a lot of mileage out of just spamming Shadow Ball. Seeing as they don't have a resist. Well, okay, they have Chi-Yu as a resist, which is a pretty good one. Yeah, I think this is my team now. Realistically, I think turn 1, if they do lead off with Palafin, I'm probably actually just going to go for the Quick Guard and just go for Earthquake. I think if, depending on their lead, I might go for Terra Great Tusk. I'm assuming that Arcanine does lead here, though. So I might just Headlong Rush even and just go for Quick Guard, which I think would be really fucking good for me. They're going to lead off with Palafin Chi-Yu. Okay. So in this particular lead, actually, I could just go for the Terra Ground Earthquake and just go for Quick Guard. And I think that would be good. Get as much damage off on Palafin as possible, and then also block any chance it has of doing damage. If they're gonna be Sash Chi-Yu, I don't mind that entirely. But I think I would rather go for this play than let Palafin get off a Jet Punch with Terra Water. Yeah, maybe I should have fainted Chi-Yu. Might have been a better play. Fainting Chi-Yu in hindsight was probably a really good play. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting not going for the feint into Chi-Yu, I can't lie. It's probably Scarfed anyway, so I don't really mind. Oh, wait, that means it outpaces my Great Tusk. I'm so used to thinking that my Great Tusk just outpaces everything, but it doesn't. Like, without the Tailwind up, it just doesn't outpace everything. Fuck. Maybe this wasn't the best play. I got a little bit too overconfident with that. I'm really hoping that Palafin Jet Punches here, or this play was kind of worthless. They do Jet Punch, okay, that's something at least. And it does protect Talonflame, okay, that's also something. This is probably a Scarf Chi-Yu though. They're gonna go for Dark Pulse, okay, thank god, they're targeting Talonflame. That works out really well, because Talonflame at least, okay. So if they are Sash, thankfully, they made like the worst sequence of plays possible, because they didn't go for Heat Wave. I think Jet Punch plus Heat Wave could have been really good. Oh, they're not even Sash Chi-Yu, okay, thank god. Makes my play significantly easier here. I was gonna say, so if they were Sash Chi-Yu, that could have been bad if they went for Heat Wave, but they weren't anyway, so they always... One of them, why didn't they just go for like a Dark Pulse into Tusk? Well, I like an Overheat into Tusk. I think Overheat into Tusk was fire. Maybe they anticipated Terrifier, I guess? I don't know. It's really confusing either way. But I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. Let's see. Okay, so Flutter Mane. I think I just go for Tailwind and Earthquake. Because if I can outpace, great. If not, oh well. Yeah, I think I just go for Tailwind and Earthquake. Because the Tailwind will still be useful later on. They're going to switch out Palafin here. Perfect. Okay. So depending on the Flutter Mane's speed, I might even be able to just get this hit off for free. Chi-Yu being gone is already huge. Arcanine should still take a ton of damage from this because of the Terra Ground boost. And this might actually KO.
Because we saw in the first game we did today that Earth did about 80% without the Terra. So Arcanine might actually just drop to this, which would be huge. That means that they're down to just Palafin and one of their Mon, and Dragonite can probably clean that. No, this is definitely a bulkier Arcanine for sure. Gleam is going to go off. That's going to do a lot of damage. But thankfully, though, we still have the Great Tusk, which is going to be powering through my opponent. I can just go into Arcanine here, actually, and just lock into E-Speed, because E-Speed will be great damage to that Palafin later on, and in tandem with Dragonite, we just E-Speed them and kill their team, which is huge. I will E-Speed the Arcanine here, and then just go for Earthquake. I know that my own Arcanine will take damage in the process for that. I'm fully aware. I could have probably brought in my Dragonite, but at the same time, I want to weaken their potential E-Speed too. Just in case they are like Banded Terra normal and they pop it right now, because I don't want my Great Tusk dying for any unnecessary reason here. Because that is... Killing both of these Pokemon here is essential to winning my game. Because Dragonite can objectively 1v1 the Palafin, unless that has Ice Punch. But even still, my Arcanine will have health left to manage that. And the Dragonite is so weak. Either the Palafin is so weak anyway, I should be fine. They're going to go for Protect. Okay. Still, honestly, not a huge deal. Because that means that I'll guarantee have my Great Tusk alive. Because they're not going for E-Speed. So, again, I'll take that for sure. This Earthquake will go off. My Arcanine obviously gets hurt by that, but it's not really too concerning here. This does change the target, though, because now I do actually need to target Palafin with my E-Speed instead of Arcanine, which is whatever, I don't really care. Essentially, either A, they're going to give me their Palafin, or B, they're going to give me the Arcanine. And either way, it works out really well. Because guaranteed... So essentially, if they go for... I think they're going to just go for the Great Tusk. That's what I'm pretty sure is going to happen here. Which I'm fine with that. I'm going to go for Earthquake here. And I'm going to go for Extreme Speed. I think I am actually just going to target the Arcanine. Because... I'm trying to think. How much damage do I actually do? So we're Adamant 196 versus Palafin. Like a bulky max HP Palafin hero. 196, no Terra normal. Extreme Speed does an okay amount of damage. I feel like we should just kill the Arcanine. I don't really gain a lot out of killing the Palafin in hindsight. I have Dragonite, and Palafin has to pick a target. If it picks Arcanine, then that's fine, because I kill it with Earthquake. If it picks Great Tusk, that's fine, because I get dual E-Speed off into it. And I think that's a safer outcome, because if I targeted the Palafin instead, and I didn't kill, my opponent now had the opportunity to potentially E-Speed my own Arcanine, and bring me down to a 2v1, which could have been bad. And I think in hindsight, this was the safer play. I think I get more reward out of killing Palafin, but it's not likely that I do. It's near impossible, actually, that I guarantee kill. However, now, I have two E-Speed Pokemon, one of which is Choice Banded, the other one is still a fucking Dragonite, and I get a lot more damage out of it this way. So I feel like this was the smarter play. Definitely really good game, though. We went 2-1 with the team. Really fucking cool team. I had a lot of fun with this one, actually. I think this was a really strong team. Funny enough, this is the one video where Dragonite just doesn't get to do shit. So, as I mentioned during the second game, the pace is wrong, so I don't actually have a pace to go off of, sadly, but it is what it is. I'm going to link, at the very least, the YouTube channel as well as the Twitter of the person who I got the team from. Make sure to check them out down below. It's a JP streamer, but they have some cool teams on their channel, at the very least, through some of their just live streams in general and videos that they've done. So, again, make sure you check them out. That's where I got this one. So, if you guys enjoyed and you want to see some more content like this, of course, like and subscribe. Shoutouts to our channel members, of course, being Josh K. Ultraplayer, Mia, Zeke Zero, Matt O'Shea, Bebat, Fonzie, Anna Depur, Timo Mueller, Bam Bambi, Rao Plays, Obo, and Johannes B. Your guys' support on the channel is greatly appreciated, and if you want to become a channel member today, it's only a couple dollars a month, and this weekend, Friday, we have our Ruin video finally going up. I just finished Ruin a couple days ago, and I'm editing it together now. It should be up very, very easily in time for Friday at 7 p.m. EST. So make sure you guys are around for that, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, where I think I'm going to do the Goldango Balance finally. Goldango Balance should be a good one, and I want to try and mix it in between some of these other rentals I have, because I have a lot of rentals to try. But I want to try and at least do a team that I built in between these, so we'll do Goldango Balance tomorrow, and then a couple more rentals, and then on Sunday it will probably be some Flora time. So we'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys.